Minutes of core work, a little bit of standing yoga sequence first, and then we're going to come down onto the mat for core circuit power abs series of 3 moves. Stretch, be done, 30 minutes, that's it. My name is Dara. Welcome to class. Let's get started. Let's do some standing. So we're going to do a standing sequence, just warm up, and then we're going to come down onto the mat for some abs, maybe a little bit of glutes today. Subscribe to the channel. You will get notifications for my next live class. Bring your feet nice, hip width distance apart. Root your feet into the ground. Take a nice long inhale. Reach to the sky. Let's get it going. Get some length in your spine, nice and tall. Extend through your spine. Use this next 30 minutes to focus on something that you want to work on, whether it's your flexibility, your mobility, your core strength, whatever that is. This class is for you. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Bring the arms all the way down. We're going to do a nice little easy vinyasa flow. Easy yoga warm up. Hang out here, knees are nice and soft. Just shake it out. Let your body be nice and relaxed. Give your lower back a nice little stretch. Enjoy this. This is for you. Get everything moving. One more breath here. On your next inhale, come up to halfway lift. This is your hip hinge position. Flat back, straighten out the knees if you want more of a stretch in your hammies. Ooh, I'm feeling it this week. Hold it here. Abs are braced. One breath. Bring your hands down, step back into plank. First plank of the day. We do have some planks today. Great way to get in some shoulder strengthening and some core work all in one. Love me some planks. Pull the belly in, tuck the chin in. Strong shoulders, spread your fingers wide. Push yourself away from the mat. Tucking that chin in. Hold it here for one breath. Exhale, knees down, slowly lower chaturanga. Nice and mellow. We're starting off slow here, guys. Don't worry, it gets harder. Uncurl your toes. Bring yourself into a little baby back bend. This is your little baby cobra. Mellow, right? Just let your body get used to this extension in the spine. This should feel good, not pinchy, right? Should feel really nice on that lower back. Get some extension. Pull the shoulder blades down your back. Retract your scapula. Hold it here for one breath. Exhale back down. Use the breath. Uncurl your toes. Push yourself back. Downward facing dog. Push away from the mat. Drive your hips high to the sky. Try to flatten out your upper back. This should just look like this little upside down V, right? We don't want a rounded back. Press down the back. Use your fingers. Use your shoulders. Press them into the mat. Drive your hips up high to the sky. Pedal your feet out for a nice little calf stretch, ankle stretch. Down dog is one of my favorites maybe for cyclists and runners that I work with. Great calf stretch. It's a great calf stretch and it's a great way to get those ankles loosened up. And a little bit of shoulder strength, right? Holding yourself up here. One more breath. We're going to do this whole sequence 2 more times. Walk your feet all the way up. We've got a lot to cover, so let's keep it going. Roll slowly, articulate through your spine. Get that whole spine moving. Inhale, reach to the sky. Let's do round 2. Inhale. Through the nose, exhale it out through the mouth. Breathe it out. Knees are nice and soft. Hang out in forward fold. Shake it out. Get rid of any tension and stress. Just let it go. Let it go. Inhale, halfway lift, hip hinge. Hip hinge is your deadlift. If you know me, you know I like my deadlifts. Straighten those knees out. If you want this stiff leg, you can also leave these soft, a little bit easier in the lower back. Hands come down, step back into plank. Number 2, we do have more planks coming up. Again, modify as needed. If this doesn't feel great for you, on the wrist, double up the mats, or just change it, right? Totally up to you. Chaturanga, exhale, lowering either knees down or all the way down. Great way to work your shoulder strength. Uncurl your toes, push yourself up. Cobra, if you want to come all the way up now into up dog, go for it, if it feels great. Or if it feels good, good or great. This should feel good on the lower back. Pull the shoulder blades down your back. Engage your lats. Stabilize, support your spine. Enjoy this extension. How often do we get into this position? We're always hunched over everything in our life. Enjoy this extension. Extending the spine. Exhale all the way back down. Push yourself back, downward facing dog. We have one more round after this, and then we're moving on to a little bit of planks. Drive the booty up nice and high to the sky to flatten out that upper back. Pedal those feet. One more round, you guys, then we're moving on walk your feet up. Last time through this really easy, mellow vinyasa warm-up, I like to do my yoga as a warm-up. Just kind of feels right? Get everything moving. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Knees are soft. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, hip hinge, straighten the knees if you want. Abs brace. Hands come down, press it back. Plank, strong plank. One breath, tuck that chin in. Exhale, lower chaturanga however you want. Up dog or cobra, spine extension. Guys, enjoy this. This should just feel good. We're here to get everything moving. This is the point of our warm-up. Exhale, back down. Push yourself back, downward facing dog. Hang out in downward dog. We're moving on. Let your heels just drop here. If you're like me, AKA not that flexible, your heels might not touch the ground, and that's totally okay. I don't think mine are ever really going to touch the ground. That's okay. We're just working on a little bit of mobility, flexibility, warming up, getting our calves and ankles nice and supple. Bring yourself a little bit wider into this down dog. So bring your arms a little bit further away because we're going to rock forward into plank. I want you to finish into this plank position here so that you're not in front of your wrists, right? You're stacked. That's going to be our finishing position. So find your plank. Again, you guys can modify this as needed. And then exhale back into downward dog. I want you to just go back and forth, right? Again, if this isn't great on your wrist, this isn't great on a lot of people's wrists. So A, work on your wrist mobility. So do some stretches and strength. But you can also double up that mat, right? If your wrists don't love these tall planks position. Back and forth. Inhale, plank. Exhale it back. Down dog. Let's do two more. I want to add on very briefly a little bit of an arm reach to that opposite shin, left hand to right shin, if you're able to. Just add a little bit of oblique work before we get into our core series, which I'm going to explain shortly. So we've got a series of 3 ab exercises coming up. Let's just do a few more here. Down dog, reach back. Exhale, reach back. 2 more. Last time. I want you to walk your hands back to your feet. Come into standing. One more part of our warm-up, little nice hip opener. I like these a lot. We're going to take inchworms and walk it out into plank. Now again, if you don't love planks, modify this. You can always do child's pose. You can do something else. If you go out into your plank, I want you to try and add at least 1 push-up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step nice and wide. Give my hips some room here. So I'm going to step at least the width of my mat. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, come down here. Focus on trying to maintain this flat back position, not rounding. So we're here. Walk it out into plank. Now when I said add on a push-up, that's optional. Inhale, reach. Walk it out. If you want to add that push-up, add 1. We're only going to do a few of these. So this is your chance to get those hips moving, get your heart rate up, get everything warmed up. Maybe add a push-up in. I would say try 1. Do 1. I'm going to do 2. Let's do 2 more. And then we're going to finish out this warm-up with a little bit of a cat-cow, and then we go to abs. Abs, abs. I lost count. I think we have 1 more. Inhale, last time. And then we're going to take it down into that cat-cow and just finish out our warm-up so that we are really ready to rock for our abs, power abs sequence. All right. Enough of that. Come down onto the mat, hands and knees. Let's get into that cat-cow. This should just feel nice. Cat-cow, arch. Get some movement. Keep that spine healthy. Joints need mobility, movement. That's how you nourish all your joints. So just focus on where you feel tight, what needs to get stretched. Arch. release. Let's just do a few more. Then we're going to be on our back for basically the whole core series coming up. Inhale, exhale it up. One more time. Last one. All right. On our back, we have obliques first. So ankle grabs. So a lot of oblique work here. I want you to focus on keeping that chin tucked in. You're going to be on your back, reaching for the outside of your ankle like this. Tuck the chin in to support your neck. If your neck is getting a little fatigued with these, because you're going to be up here, you can have your hands behind your head, right, to support your neck, or take a break, or modify it. Maybe do some different oblique work. Essentially, what I want you to do is I want you to exhale, come up here, and just reach. So this is a long set. We have a series of 3 exercises. So most of my classes I'll go through has this little power abs circuit. If you haven't taken my class before, so we've got a series of 3 exercises and we just go, 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 right? We're building a little bit of endurance in our core, some strengthening, a little bit of hips, a little bit of glutes, a little bit of this. Your core is everything, right? Not just abs. So we're gonna add 1 glute-based exercise into this series today. So obliques. Some deep abdominal core engagement here, tucking the chin in, reach, reach, reach. Long set this first round. Settle in, tuck the chin in, support the neck. Again, you can have the hands here. Or you can just do a different oblique exercise, maybe some bicycle crunches, right? So just reach, small movement happening, but a lot of that side to side, engaging those obliques. So we've got these. We do have a glute bridge coming up next, which I'll show a couple little spicy add-ons to that glute bridge. And then we have some lower abdominal work. We're going to do some fluttering up and down with the legs. So that's basically the outline of this series. I'm just talking to distract you guys from how long this first set is. Keep going. Let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Head relaxed, shake it out. Glute bridge, knees at 90, hip distance apart. Drive the elbows into the ground. Squeeze your glutes each time you lift. Now we're gonna do 2 parts to this glute bridge. I want you to first just get warmed up, prime those glutes, activate, squeeze every time. I want you to feel mostly your glutes and hamstrings. Now you're using your lower back for this exercise, but I don't want that to be the primary driver. Emphasize the glutes, squeeze each time. Dig your heels in. Elevate, come all the way up. Squeeze at the finish. So this is a long set. We're gonna do some basic glute bridges, and then we're gonna go right into a single leg bridge. Now, obviously that's harder. If you wanna keep it at this basic glute bridge, totally fine. We're gonna change this glute one each round. So we're definitely gonna get a lot of glute work in. Again, stabilizing your core, stabilizing your hips, stabilizing your pelvis. So work your glute strength. That's a part of your core. Let's do 4 more here. 3, 2, then we're gonna move into single leg bridge. Rest for 1 second. Place both of your hands onto your right thigh. This is gonna work this left glute and hip. Dig in with that left heel. Get ready. You're gonna press your hands into the right as you lift up with your left. Yes, your hamstrings may freak out a little bit on that left side. They'll get used to it, right? Definitely working, isolating that left hip. If this just feels weird and doesn't feel great, go back to your basic glute bridge. Right? Definitely a lot harder, right? We're focusing all on this left hip. Squeeze that glute, come all the way up, all the way. Let's do a few more. 4, 3, burn it out. 2, 1, same thing, other side. Press, engage, squeeze. Make sure you're coming all the way up. Again, this is a lot of work on the hamstring, right? You're putting the hamstring in a short position. So if it starts to freak out on you and cramp, well, first of all, just suck it up. It'll go away. But it's gonna be very isolating to that one hamstring and that glute on that opposite leg, right? So I'm pressing in here, bridging up with my right. 4 more, 3 more, 2, 1, relax. Shake it out. Our last move, lower abdominals, right? So we have this series of 3. This is the third one. Hands are going to be at my side, supporting myself. I'm going to lift my legs up. I want you to keep your lower back pressed down the whole time. So you're going to bring the legs all the way down and all the way back up. Now again, the hard part is as you lower. I want you to keep that lower back pressed down. If you're not sure that you're really doing that right, lift your head up for a few. In fact, you can have your head up the entire time. I want you to make sure that this part is the stable part. In other words, as I lower my legs, my lower back needs to stay glued to the ground, right? So there should not be any arching or lifting as my legs get lower. That's the hard part. So again, you can modify this. Maybe you don't go as low. That's a little bit easier to stabilize. I'm just kicking those legs out. I'm getting some leg movement in as I keep my core stable. That's the goal, right? Lifting the head up for a few. So we're going to do this for 2 rounds, and then our last one, we're just going to turn it into a hold. We'll do a little hollow body hold. So we'll just kind of mix and match, change it up a little bit. So again, finishing up with these. Then we're going to come back in with those ankle grabs. So back to the obliques. Trying to just get a little bit of everything today. Let's do 4 more just like this. Kick, 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 kick. Keep the lower back pressed down again. Lower back stays connected, abs engaged in the front. 2 more. And then 1 more. These are tough. They should feel challenging if you're doing them right. All right, feet back. Knees at 90, feet are hip distance apart. Let's do those ankle grabs. Lift up. We're not stopping. Round 2, we've got a lot to cover. 3 rounds of 3. That's how I roll. That's how this class goes. Little power abs, right? So we're trying to really build some endurance in our core here. Again, we can do some weighted core work as well. There's value in all of this, right? Core is not just planks, and it's not just holds, and it's not just twists. It's everything. We need to have our body and our trunk stable as we're moving as well, right? And if your sport involves something where you're throwing or picking up something, then it's not a bad idea to have some weighted ab work as well, right? So today we're just doing a lot of kind of advanced core work, a little bit of dynamic movements, and then as well as some static movements, holding. We're going to finish with a hollow body hold today. Last few here. In 4, 3, reach, 2, 1, glute bridge, not taking a break. You know what to do. Squeeze each time. Engage those glutes. Activate. Squeeze. Get your brain to really start to engage and focus on that glute, not just your lower back, right? So really emphasize, lift all the way up. Let's do a few more here, and then we're going to turn this into a marching bridge at the top. So that's going to be the change this round. A little bit of more core stability with our marching bridge. Again, keeping the hips high, keeping the glutes elevated, active, and engaged. 2 more here. 1 more. Come up, hold it up at the top. Keep the hips nice and level. Hold this glute bridge, add the march. Again, I really like this one for my cyclists and runners. I give this a lot to my patients in physical therapy. A lot of things are happening here in this elevated marching bridge. Glutes are active, squeezed, right? I'm staying nice and high. And then I really want you to focus here on keeping the hips level. So I'm not dipping, not rotating. I'm not flippy flop around. Pelvis is level, hips are level. That's your stability, right? That's what I want people to think about and engage your core. Keep those hips nice and level. So it should be happening when you're running, when you're swimming, when you're biking. Nice, level, stable base, stable, level pelvis. 4 more here. And then we have those lower abdominals. Finish this out. Come back down. Again, lowering the legs, arms at your sides. Head can be lifted up if you want. I would suggest starting with the head elevated. In fact, if you want, keep the head up the whole time. You can also have your hands behind your head. The reason I'm doing that is because when I do that, I'm lifting up, I'm getting more into this crunch position here. That's driving my rib cage down. It's connecting me here, and it's keeping my lower back pressed down. And that's the goal, right? So if there's even like a millimeter of space here at the bottom, it's wrong, right? We're putting too much strain on the lower back. We want to keep everything connected and controlled, and you're going to do that by coming from here as well to wrap around and stabilize into the back. So this is challenging. A lot of times People are doing these and they're lowering the legs like, oh, my back hurts. I'm like, well, yeah, that's not the point. We're trying to get more strength, more resilience, stability, not strain our lower back. So again, you can lift the head up for a few. That's gonna help you get into that little crunch position and keep that lower back down. Let's do 2 more. And then come back up. Last one. And then we have our last round. Time's flying, right? Come back up, not taking a break. Ankle grabs, last round. Finish strong. We're gonna save time at the end for a little bit of cool down stretching, lower back, all that stuff. And that's class for today. That's really everything, right? So we got a little bit of our nice active warm up, right? You can get a lot done in 30 minutes. Nice active warm up, some dynamic mobility, some yoga, a little bit of core work, some glutes, some lower back stretching, and that's it. That's class for today. Finishing up in 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time glute bridge. I'm not taking any breaks. Let's finish. Squeeze and lift. We're gonna change this last one to a glute-based bridge, and then you're gonna bring the feet together, knees out for your frog bridge. That should feel like a little bit different engagement on the outside of that glute. So let's do a few more of our basic glute bridge again. Drive the heels into the ground. Squeeze your glutes. 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet together, knees out, frog bridge, last one. I love this version. I don't know why. You're gonna really feel your glutes. For most people, feel this one a little bit more in the glutes or maybe outer hip. Squeeze and lift, feet together, knees out, last few here. And then we're gonna finish this last round with a hold. So we're not gonna flutter the legs. We're just gonna hold our last one. We're gonna do a 30-second hold. I will count it down for us. Let's finish up with these frog bridges. 3 more, 2 more, 1 more. Hollow body hold, last time. Now your hold, your advanced version is going to be arms and legs here. Again, lower back needs to stay pressed down. Easier here, easiest here, right? I don't care which one you do, just make sure your lower back is pressed down, you're doing it correctly. You have to hold this for 30 seconds. Let's start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up, hold that hollow body hold. Whichever version you are doing, lower back is glued to the ground. 30 seconds, tuck the chin in, eyes focusing on my toes, lower back is pressed down, connecting here. A lot of things to think about. We're almost done. And then we get to stretch, my favorite part, right? Finishing up, almost done. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. And just relax. Turn it over onto your stomach. Let's do a little bit of lower back before we stretch. Opposite arm and legs. I'm just trying to squeeze in everything today. Superhumans, opposite arm and leg, lift and lower. Lift. Think about length when we're doing these, right? So it's not about arching really high. It's really about extending and reaching to opposite ends. Get length through your spine as you lift. And lift. Let's just do a few of these to engage that whole posterior chain, shoulders back, glutes, hamstrings, lower back, strengthen, lift. Lift. Just a few inches off the ground. We are almost done. Let's do 2 more here. Lift. Last one. Lift. And lift, come back into child's pose for me if this is comfortable. Knees go nice and wide. Give your lower back a nice little stretch. If you don't love child's pose, you can also come onto your back, hug your knees into your chest. We're gonna be there in just a minute. If you do like child's pose, then just enjoy this stretch, right? Try and slow down the breath. We are finishing class. Subscribe to the channel. You will get notifications of class, next live class. Come onto your back when you're ready. Let's hug those knees into the chest. Let's stretch. Any stretches that feel good to you right now, this is your chance. Add them in. This is your class. Do what you need to do for your body. Hug those knees in. Rock them side to side. I will guide you through some of my favorite stretches, cool downs. I do these quite often myself. Hug that right knee into your chest. Let your left leg extend long onto the mat. Get some length. And just roll the ankles and the toes around. Just like loosening up the feet. Ankles, toes, roll them around. Maybe roll that right hip around. Just get that hip nice and stretched out. We are just finishing up class. Again, any other stretches that you want to do, now is your chance. With your left hand, bring that knee across your body. Now this may look and feel different on you, so if you want to bring your knee higher or lower, as long as you're getting some nice little stretch in that outer hip, glute, maybe lower back, open that right arm out at an angle. Head can go wherever it feels comfortable. Maybe shake the head side to side. Maybe move the knee up and down. Totally up to you. Hold it here for 4, for 3, for 2. Come back to center. Figure 4 stretch. Nice glute hip opener. You can leave it here. If you want deeper, reach through, grab behind that left thigh. This is going to stretch out that right hip and glute. One of my favorites, my little figure 4 stretch. You can also do pigeon pose. Keep the head relaxed, shake it out, release any tension. A lot of this core work, we're really involving the neck a lot as well. So just make sure your neck is nice and relaxed. Inhale through the nose. Exhale it out through the mouth. Slow down the breath. We are almost done with class. Last breath here. Unwrap that right leg, shake it out, release any tension. Hug that left knee in, roll the ankles and toes around again. Maybe roll that hip around again. Just kind of doing whatever feels good, right? Right hand grabs that left knee, brings it across your body. This should just feel like a good outer hip glute stretch, maybe lower back if you twist off the mat more. I want to figure out that angle that just feels good for you. Maybe it's here, maybe it's here. This may look different on you and feel different. Should just feel really good, right? No pain, no pinching, just a nice stretch. Opening that left arm out. Stretching out my chest, my shoulders, my upper back. Head can go wherever it feels comfortable. Maybe shaking the head side to side. Inhaling through the nose, slow down the breath. Exhale it all out. Sink deeper into the stretch. One more breath here, then we have our figure 4. And then we're basically done. Come back to center. Figure 4 stretch, left side. You can keep it here or thread the needle, reaching through behind that right thigh. Hold it here. Neck is relaxed. Maybe roll the shoulders out. We're almost done with class. Enjoy these last few breaths. Really focus on that nice deep inhale through the nose, filling up the rib cage. Exhale it all out. Take one more breath here. Let all the breath out. Unwrap that left leg. Windshield wiper the knees side to side, nice and gentle, lower back stretch. This should just feel really good. Mellow, rock the knees side to side. You're gonna roll onto your side, up into seated, and we will finish out class gently. Roll onto your side, push yourself up into seated. You can sit however it feels comfortable for you. Let's finish off with our seated stretch. Inhale, reach to the sky to close out class. Get some length. Get tall. Exhale out one more time, and then that is it for today. Thank you so much for coming. Hopefully I will see you next time. Subscribe to the channel. There's more core exercises in my core strength playlist. That's it. Thank you so much for coming. See you guys next time.